Published 1730 EDT, the 6th of September 2017. Updated 1735 EDT, the 6th of September 2017. Manchester City have threatened to sue the president of the Spanish league following incendiary claims that included accusations of cooking the books. City have 5 players on loan at La Liga club Girona, in which they have a 44% stake. The Liga chief Javier Tebas claimed the 5, signed for more than £20 million, had been valued at far less by Girona to get round financial rules. A bizarre day of claim and counterclaim was sparked by Tebas shooting from the hip through an interpreter over alleged breaches of finance rules by City and Paris Saint-Germain. Manchester City said they were seeking legal counsel after the comments from Javier Tebas, much to City's fury. Tebas bracketed them with the Qatar-backed French club, who signed Neymar for £198 million. Tebas, who claims he will take both clubs to court if UEFA don't instigate action against them, said they're laughing at the system, aren't they, with Neymar to PSG. What we have done is caught them peeing in the bed or in the swimming pool. Neymar's gone on the diving board and now HESP'd from the diving board. We can't accept this, but the biggest waves were made by Tebas himself with his claims of malpractice by City at Girona. Tebas claimed that the 5 players on loan, that Douglas Luiz, Larry Coyote, Marlos Moreno, Aleix Garcia and Pablo Maffeo, had been valued at far less than £20 million on Girona's books regarding the salaries and loan fees. Tebas accused City of altering financial records in regards to loan players sent out to Girona. La Liga clubs are restricted in what they can spend, depending on the total worth of the players on the books, the salaries and associated expenses. City say Girona paid no loan fees for the players and the Spanish club were paying the wages. Tebas said we're closely monitoring the books of Girona and the financial reporting. Girona put the 5 players who were being loaned from Manchester City on the books for a certain amount of money, which we didn't believe was a real amount of money in terms of the salaries, so we made them put them on the books for a higher value. On the books, it looked like these players were essentially almost free. They were too low and we increased them. It would be unfaithful competition within the Spanish league if Girona were able to report these players in such a way. If the 5 players from Manchester City are worth €1 each, they can put in a whole bunch of those players. Leroy Sane and on-loan City man Pablo Maffeo compete during a friendly between the sides. Asked whether the books had been cooked, Tebas replied they were trying to, but they didn't manage to do it. The wording of City's statement and the threat of immediate legal action, both unusual for the club, demonstrated the strength of feeling at the club over the claims and the comparison to PSG. It read, "We note the public comments made by Mr. Tebas today and earlier this week. UEFA's statement of September 4 saying City are not under investigation is clear and based on accurate information. By contrast, Mr. Tebas' statements are ill-informed and in parts pure fiction. As you would expect, Manchester City are seeking appropriate legal counsel and will act accordingly." The suggestion that Tebas couldn't be relied on to tell the truth was supported by the fact that the Spaniard went to the Etihad Stadium to have a scheduled meeting with City's chief executive Ferran Soriano, despite having announced at the SoccerX Global Convention that they would be meeting in a few days or weeks. Tebas also accused Paris Saint-Germain of laughing at the system with their transfer deal. Said, "I had a meeting planned with Ferran Soriano in June in New York. The meeting didn't happen because of a family issue, but I'm going back to talk to him and state everything clearly to him in the next few days or weeks." Instead, there was a frosty summit with Soriano just a couple of hours later, and with the City chief already armed with Tebas' comments at SoccerX, the Spaniard fell back on the excuse that he had been misquoted by the press. City insist that they are not under investigation, as UEFA have officially stated, but Tebas said not at the moment, but we are expecting they should start looking into it shortly. "We are taking this as far as possible because we fear that this can have a really bad impact on football and the structure of football. There has to be a fundamental change within UEFA so it doesn't happen in the future." Tebas says he will be going to the competition authorities in Brussels and then the courts. City believe he has already made a complaint to the European Parliament and got nowhere. Like everything to do with Javier Tebas, nothing is quite what it seems. And on this occasion City, despite the previous FFP violation, looked to have more of a legal case against Tebas than he has against them.